What's up everybody, another beautiful day in the Dragon Isles, and we're back with some Mythic raid guides. Today we're taking a look at Mythic Kazzara, the Hellforged. Now I'll be going over most of the Mythic mechanics, how to deal with them, and our overall tactic for this fight. And if you have any questions or suggestions for this fight, hit me up. Let me know in the comments if you've downed the boss. Prog hype! So setup wise, you want 2 tanks, 4 healers, and 14 DPS, full single target blasty blasters, but other than that, there's not really any required class or spec. Just blast. So the new mythic mechanic for this fight is the Infernal Fusion. If a Ray of Anguish touches a Molten Scar, the lava on the ground that the beams and rifts spawn, well then everyone in the raid gets nuked. It ticked for around 160k on the entire raid, so it's like a game of operations, but instead of getting bust, you die. Other than that, it's just like on Heroic, but everything hurts more, and you actually have to deal with some of the mechanics. Now, due to the Infernal Infusion mechanic, where you drop your rifts matters a lot more, but also how you kite the rays. So the big brain strat we opted in for was Tetris. So at the start of the fight, you'll get 3 dread rifts and rays, then at 80, 60, and 40% you get 1 more of each. The lava that the Ray of Anguish spawns will despawn, but the lava spawn from closing a rift does not. So what we did was drop each set of dread rifts in a line in front of a previous set of rifts, having a bit of gap between old and new rifts so players can stand behind them when they're targeted by beams. And we kept moving raid and boss after every set of rifts until we almost filled up one side of the room. Important to leave a little gap here, and then we started to move boss and raid along the edge of the room, dropping rifts in the gap we left with the old rifts, Tetris style. And yeah, rinse repeat. So on pull, tank boss roughly where it stands, raid loosely spread behind boss. First set of rifts go all the way back with their rifts. Just make sure to leave a little space behind so beamers can kite them in. When the rays are about to spawn, everyone needs to spread. This is very important because if, say, 2 friendly neighborhood melee DPSers hug and they both get ray, they will spawn on top of each other and instantly decimate the entire raid, which most players would agree is a bad thing. Most. Ranged players can also spread/bait the rays, since they always spawn on player location, so by positioning yourself closer to the rift, you can save yourself a lot of headache. Plus, you don't have to kite it for as long. DPS gain. Now, as you get further into the fight and get more and more rift, it gets increasingly important to manage them properly as you get less and less space. And it's a lot more chaotic kiting 6 beams into rifts without anything going south than it is kiting 3 of them. Now, on that note, be kind and be a team player. Don't just pick a rift and hard decide, this is my rift. There's many like it, but this one is mine. Now, odds are 2 other players have the same idea and then you all realize it at the last second and then you die. So communicate and check around where the other beams spawn. Perhaps the rift you were going to take is better left to another beamer. Or just flex your godlike gamer skills. Ugh. Side note, you can drag a ray a very short distance over lava if there's no other feasible way to get it into the rift, as it won't flat out wipe the raid. However, that damage combined with all the other raid damage is enough to kill a few players if you're unlucky. So if this is about to happen, you can see that there is no other way. Let your healers know so they can prepare and YOLO off a cooldown as you pray to live. And later in the fight, for us this was around rift number 5 and onward, they start overlapping with knockbacks, so players targeted by Dread Rift should move a bit in front of where they actually want to drop it so they get knocked back into the position where they're going to drop it, rather than positioning yourself correctly and then you get knocked into shit, drop your rift there and so keep the knockbacks in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Kazzara the Hellforged on Mythic. If you have any questions, hit me up here or become a patron or Twitch sub and get access to the Stankie Gaming Discord, which is the fastest way to get a hold of me, and it's also filled with a lot of useful info and helpful people. If you need any help PvE wise, don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, ring that notification bell. It really helps me out. I'm also streaming all my progression rating on Twitch, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and sometimes in between. Stankie Gaming. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.